can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Halftime Huddle presented by Starcade Media. Today, we are going to be talking about the Chiefs' first half performance against the New York Jets. Obviously, the New York Jets, very struggling team. You know, they lost Aaron Rodgers within the first 5 minutes. Zach Wilson hasn't really played the Alrighty, sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties. But yeah, like I was saying, the Chiefs started off really fast on offense and defense. You know, we saw that really long run by Isaiah Pacheco, his longest rushing touchdown of his career. Chiefs have too many stars in their eyes. I agree. You know, you're in New York. It's Mahomes' first time ever playing a game in New York. We'll have to see how they adjust in the second half. I wasn't very impressed with their second part of the first half performance. I thought that Mahomes made some uncharacteristic mistakes. It seemed like him and Kelsey weren't really in sync like they usually are. I'm missing Nick Bolton. You know, obviously they still have speed at the linebacker position. They still have Drew Tranquil. They brought him over from Los Angeles in the offseason. And yeah, Willie Gay. You know, Willie Gay was, he was being honest this week in what he was saying about, how the Jets have been. You know, they were basically panicking without Aaron Rodgers. The first quarter looked good, but Mahomes has temporarily lost his mind. Yeah, he's not playing like the Mahomes that we're used to seeing. You know, him and Kelsey, like I said, something seems off tonight. Those touch passes are something that Mahomes is usually really good at. Tonight, just not so well. 2 interceptions. Did have a really nice passing touchdown to Noah Gray for 30-plus yards. We're starting to see Noah Gray get a little bit more involved in the offense as time goes on, and the defense hasn't really done good either. They did good at the beginning of the game. Zach Wilson, he's playing a lot better than what I thought he would. But it seems like we're never going to get that Patrick Mahomes Aaron Rodgers matchup. You know, something always seems to come in the way. But as far as what I think the Chiefs need to do heading into the second half, I think they need to continue to try to run the ball. You know, Pacheco has 84 rushing yards on 9 carries. So, I mean, you're obviously doing pretty good running the ball. I'd also like to see some receivers get involved in the game. Really, all we've seen is all we've really seen get involved so far, as far as the receiver goes, is Kadarius Toney, and Kadarius Toney really hasn't done a whole lot. You know, he's not living up to the expectations that they thought. Have another comment here. It says Taylor is bad luck. I'm getting really tired of seeing all this Taylor Swift stuff. I think it's becoming a little bit of a distraction. I don't think it's necessarily affecting the Chiefs' play, but I don't think they're playing as good as they usually do. I don't know if that's Taylor talking, but we'll have to see what happens as I guess their relationship continues. But as far as the defense, I think the Chiefs need to start playing aggressively again. You know, they have a lot of depth on the defensive side of the ball. They're able to rotate guys in and keep guys fresh. You know, that's one thing that a lot of, sports analysts are saying about the Chiefs, saying that they're doing really good at is being able to rotate players in, stay fresh, not having a bunch of gas players. And another player that's like kind of surprising me, Trent McDuffie. I know it's not really something abnormal, but Trent McDuffie's tackling has been really good this game. He did have that one play with Alan Lazard. I don't know. I would have probably called pass interference, offensive pass interference, but there's been a couple crazy penalties that have been called in this first half. You know, the safety from Jawan Taylor face mask. You know, it was in the field of play, so that was kind of interesting. And then there's a couple of other penalties, but we can't really harp on that too much. I still think the Chiefs are going to walk away with a game. I'm hoping that they walk away, hoping that they walk away with a W. Um, but as far as what the team as a whole needs to do, man, they just need to play like themselves. I mean, the Chiefs are going to be the only thing stopping them from getting to the Super Bowl. Obviously, a bunch of receivers, that are new. Kadarius Toney, still considered new. He didn't play much last year, but he had high expectations. We haven't seen that yet. Um, and then we have our other host on here, Chase. And he's going to assist us in talking about the Chiefs.
How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Doing pretty good myself.
All righty. What's your thoughts so far on this first half performance from the Chiefs?
You know what? I liked that they were getting Travis Kelce involved to begin with. They kind of fell off of that, started using Noah Gray a little bit, obviously worked out. Noah Gray caught a touchdown. Huge, big deal with Mahomes getting to as many touchdowns, 200 touchdowns in 84 games, as opposed to Dan Marino doing it in 89 games. However, I feel like it's been overshadowed in the first half by the fact that he threw 2 interceptions. So definitely not something you want to see from our MVP quarterback.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, if you look at Mahomes' highlights, since he's been started, those touch passes to Kelsey has been like their bread and butter. You usually see 1 or 2 of those every single game, and tonight they haven't really worked. I know, obviously, the one that we just saw at the end of the first half, that was a little bit careless and uncharacteristic of Mahomes. I feel like they'll clean it up going into the second half. I mean, you kind of have to. I mean, you can't let the Jets continue to look as good as they've looked throughout this game.
Yeah, I mean, my only question would be is, like Zach Wilson, like I said, coming to play. Is that the Aaron Rodgers effect?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that the Jets really bummed out about not having Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, if Zach Wilson plays like he has tonight, I mean, the Chiefs have had the third best ranked scoring defense in the league so far this year, and he's looking pretty good. So, if he continues to play like this, maybe the Jets fans won't be so bummed out about not having Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, there seems to be if you watch and the way Rodgers is reacting and Zach Wilson is reacting, it seems like there's kind of like a proud moment, if you will, with Aaron Rodgers watching Zach Wilson play. So I don't know, man. Maybe he spent a little bit of extra time with Zach this week, because other than the struggles at the very beginning, Zach Wilson has shown great poise, thrown great throws. It has not been, the usual, 15 that we're used to seeing. It's been Zach Wilson's show. So, yeah, definitely have to clean that up and see what they do in the second half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it, like you were saying, it's kind of like an Aaron Rodgers effect. Maybe it's a father-son type of deal. Who really knows? Maybe Zach's going to play better because Aaron's watching. But one thing that just seems to be gutting the Chiefs defense is the play action bootleg. He's running out to the outside. And I mean, that play that Trent McDuffie, and Alan Lazard were a part of, that was a huge play. And I mean, I probably would have called offensive pass interference on that play, because there was quite a bit of a push, more than just like a normal push off that we usually see. I know receivers do it all the time, but there's been a couple questionable penalties so far in this game. So what are your thoughts about that?
It's crazy. As a Chiefs fan, when a penalty doesn't go our way, it's always like, oh man. But then you hear the head official or one of the other head officials get on the screen and say, yeah, that was a bad call. That the horse collar, I forgot what the other one was, but when Dean gets on screen and he says, yeah, that wasn't the right call. Now you're sitting there like, I hate always being the tinfoil hat Chiefs fan that's like, oh man, the refs are throwing egregious flags. And they are there, but it's not just with the Chiefs, it's with everybody in the NFL this year. There's a lot of complaints about the egregious calls that the referees are doing out there. So the face mask on the Jawan safety. Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing I was talking about just a few minutes ago. That face mask started in the field of play. So you heard the announcer saying that that started in the field of play. It shouldn't have been a safety. Um,
Yep.
I don't know what to really think of the penalties that they call anymore. I mean, ever since that Saints and Rams game in the NFC Championship a few years ago, I don't really question
1000%.
the officials anymore. But then we have another comment here saying Eric B is missed. He didn't look too missed last week against the Bears, I'll tell you that. As a matter of fact, Eric Bieniemy didn't have a really good game against the Bills last week, but who knows? Maybe later in the season we'll see a little bit of signs that maybe we're missing Eric Bieniemy. I personally don't think so. I think Matt Nagy is doing a pretty good job. People seem to be believing that Matt Nagy is the one that's calling plays. I don't buy it. I still think
Negative.
Andy Reid is the one calling the plays. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there's been reports out there that say that. So everyone's just going crazy over Eric Bieniemy not being there anymore. They think it has some effect on the team. Who knows?
I don't think it did at all. I think Eric Bieniemy and Matt Nagy's position on the offense is number 3. Obviously Andy Reid is calling the plays, and then guess who's right underneath Andy Reid? Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And then right underneath that, then you've got Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy. Now Matt Nagy. So when everybody, I mean, there's a reason why you saw that scuffle. You saw a few scuffles between Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy on the sidelines in Eric Bieniemy's tenure with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes as a starter. Eric Bieniemy is a run-heavy coach. Have the Chiefs been a run-heavy team since Mahomes got the start?
First half of the 2018 season when they had Kareem Hunt before he got suspended, but other than that, no.
Exactly. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. Kickoff just happened. So here we go, second half.
Let's get this done. Let's see what happens, man.
All right, Dylan, pleasure meeting you, sir. Thank you guys for joining us for the Halftime Huddle for Starcade Media. We will see you next week.
All right.